Hi, my name is Sarah Isho, and I'm doing the informative speech for my Com 100 class. When you hear the word Iraq, what is the first thing you think of? Do you think of its breathtaking landscapes and warm, sunny weather? Do you think of the beautiful culture that defines the country? How about Iraq's rich history that dates back to over 10,000 years ago? Unfortunately, most people do not think of these things when Iraq is mentioned. The only things that come to mind are oil, war, and terrorism. Although Iraq has been the focus of media for many years, there are still many characteristics of this nation that people are unaware of. It is important for Americans to learn of the multiple ethnicities, religions, and languages that Iraq consists of. The traditional foods, sports, and family structures also make up an important part of Iraq's culture. Today I will be addressing a brief history of Iraq, the people of Iraq, and the traditions of the various ethnic groups. Iraq is a country that is misunderstood by many people. All over the world, it is assumed that oil and war are the only things that define this nation. However, this is a nation that is filled with many interesting facts and stories. One of the most remarkable things about Iraq is its rich ancient history. Surprisingly, Iraq was not always Iraq. Up until the end of World War I, Iraq was called Mesopotamia, which means land between rivers. Mesopotamia is believed to be the site where some of the earliest civilizations emerged. Approximately 4000 BC, the Sumerian civilization flourished in the region that is now southern Iraq. This is the first known civilization in the world. Because of this, Iraq is also referred to as the cradle of civilization. This is where some of the most important human developments took place, such as the planting of the first crops. Another important part of Iraq's history is when they received independence from Britain. It was during World War I when Britain invaded Mesopotamia, took control, and made it a British mandate. Iraqis fought a tough war in trying to rebel against British forces. The British worked very hard to cut all access Iraq had to the Persian Gulf. They did this by creating a border across southern Iraq to form the nation of Kuwait. This is why Saddam Hussein tried to take over Kuwait when he was in power. He felt that a part of Iraq was stolen and it needed to be returned. It was not until October 3rd of 1932 that Iraq finally became an independent nation. Saddam Hussein did not come into power for another 47 years after that. Sadly enough, the Iraqi people suffered for a very long time under Hussein's rule. However, what is even more disappointing is that they continue to suffer even after he is gone. Many civilian deaths have resulted from World War I to the war currently taking place. However, Iraq's population is currently reaching about 30 million people. The people of Iraq consist of various ethnic groups, religions, and languages. The largest ethnic group in Iraq consists of 75 to 80% Arabs. Following that, approximately 15 to 20% are Kurdish, and another 5% consist of Chaldeans, Assyrians, and other smaller groups. Religion is especially important in Iraq. The most popular religion in Iraq is Muslim. Approximately 97% of the people follow the Islam religion. Of that 97%, Shias make up 60 to 65%, and Sunnis make up 32 to 37%. This separation between Sunnis and Shias started after the death of the Prophet Muhammad. Issues arose over who was going to take over the Muslim nation. The Shias believed power should stay within the Prophet's own family, while the Sunnis had a more democratic way of thinking. They believed in electing a person that they felt was best for the job. All of this divide caused a few differences to happen within their religious practices. The Sunnis and Shias ultimately have the same fundamental Islamic beliefs. The other 3% of the population practices Christianity. There are quite a few different languages spoken in Iraq. Arabic is the official language of the country. However, in the Kurdish regions, Kurdish is considered to be the official language. Few people in the country also speak languages such as Turkmen, Assyrian, or Armenian. Because the majority of the Iraqi population is Arab Muslim, most of the country has similar traditions and ways of living. Some of the most important traditions of Iraq include popular dishes and the enjoyment of a particular sport. Iraqi food is very similar to that of other Middle Eastern food. The staple foods here include wheat, barley, rice, and dates. Iraqis mostly eat sheep and goat, however, they do eat all other meat except for pork, because the majority of Iraqis follow the Muslim religion, which does not allow them to eat pork. For special occasions, Iraqis will enjoy dishes like pacha or dolma. Pacha is a dish that most Westerners would probably find very unusual. It consists of a mixture of various sheep body parts, especially the stomach and the intestines. These animal parts are stuffed with rice and beef and slowly cooked in a broth that's filled with chickpeas, onions, and special seasonings. The other dish, dolma, is something that even Americans have been exposed to. Dolma is basically stuffed grape leaves. In addition to the food, Iraqi people have a love for the game of soccer. The stadiums in Iraq are always packed when a game is taking place. The people are so excited about the sport that sometimes violence even breaks out among the crowds. As silly as it may sound, this game is honestly one of the things that has helped Iraqis unite. 4 years ago, the Iraqi soccer team played extremely well in the Asian Cup and was able to win the championship. This was an amazing victory for Iraq because it was not just about winning a soccer game. The Iraqi team was credited with uniting the nation during difficult times. All of these aspects of Iraq that I have mentioned help a person realize that there is much more to Iraq than just war and oil. The media has focused on Iraq for many years and it has given it a terrible reputation. It is unfortunate that we do not hear about the good characteristics of this country. It is important for Americans as well as other people all over the world to learn of the multiple ethnicities, religions, and languages that Iraq consists of. Iraq's history, culture, and traditions are also important aspects of this country and need to be presented to the rest of the world. I've done my best to inform you on some of the history of Iraq, the people of Iraq, and some of the traditions that give the country character. This country is just waiting for people to recognize its beauty. Hopefully more people will soon learn to understand it and appreciate it for all that it's worth.